All right, we're going to go ahead and just jump straight in. Again, thank you guys so much for attending tonight. This was an unscheduled just in time that we decided to put together because of a lot of questions about transfers between, we've got the Troop Link store and transfers to girls. So we're just going to kind of go over that information again. Before we do that, I did have a question about where to find the previous trainings. So I'm going to show you guys that one more time. It's going to be in GS Learn. When you go to our council website, that's gsdsw.org, you'll be able to log into your MyGS account and then log into GS Learn. From there, please keep in mind that you have all completed your training. So it should be under your completed tab. If you have a lot of trainings, you may need to do a search. And if you just do like a cookie or troop, you should be able to locate the training that you need. In my case, I didn't finish it on this account, so I'm going to just do a search right here. Okay, so it's going to either be Troop Cookie Coordinator Training or IRM Coordinator Training. And keep in mind, it's IRM or IRG is the new phrase, but right now it still says IRM in all of our materials. You click on whichever training you have access to. The top portion are the required trainings. The bottom portion is going to be where you will find all of the optional trainings to include the recordings from the past just-in-times, as well as the link to sign up for any future just-in-times that we have. Okay. So that is that screen. Now we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the purpose of tonight's training, which is the allocating those cookies to your girls. I'm going to be using my daughter's IRM account so that you guys can see what some of it looks like. So you'll be in your eBuddy through your Troop dashboard. First, we're going to start over on the transaction screen. A couple of things that I want to point out. One, for those of you who are brand new, this is where you order your cookies through your respective cupboards. Again, you go add a transaction, you locate the cupboard closest to you, and they're all listed by city for the most part. Then you will pick your date and time and you'll enter in your order. Once you do that, please make sure you hit save. If you need to edit that order, you locate the order, you make your appropriate edits, hit OK, and then hit save. If you need to delete an order, again, hit save. It doesn't hurt to hit save 100 times. Make sure you hit that save button because if you don't, you could undo any of the changes that you made. All right. You can also filter. So if you are right now, your on-hand inventory is going to show you any of your DOC cookies. These are anything that was purchased online for direct ship. If you want to see just what you've picked up from the cupboard, you can actually do some sorts. For example, do a second party sort. You see here where it says C0021, that stands for the cupboard here in El Paso. So if you type in the cupboard identifier and hit apply filter, this will show you just what you've picked up there. Keeping in mind, this isn't going to show you your initial order because that was done through a delivery station. But this will at least show you what you've picked up so you can make sure that your receipts or your dot sheets or whatever it is that you use with that cupboard match up. Okay. Now we're going to jump over to your girl orders. So you have a list of all of your Girl Scouts that are in your troop, whether they're participating or not. And you also should have, if you have activated it, a link for your troop site. As a reminder, the troop links will only show on the Cookie Finder app if you have Girl Delivered turned off. The default for troop links is for it to turn off, so you actually manually have to go in to turn it on if your troop is going to be doing Girl Delivered. If not, leave it as off and it will stay in the Cookie Finder app. If you get cookies that have been purchased through the troop link, they will show here in the troop account Unfortunately, I don't have any to show you on this one, but it will show as similar to the in hand, only it'll have actual purchases. And that is where you will need to go in and do an add a transaction. You would type in the girl's name, in this case, for example, Cat, whatever your details are going to be. And I'll leave that entirely up to you. And then you need to make sure you are doing a negative in the appropriate column. So if, say, somebody purchased 2 core cookies and 2 toffee cookies, you would do it as a -2 and a -2. Make sure you include any money that is associated with that. Okay. And I like to do quickly, or I'm didn't want to do the math, so I did it as an okay, and then there you go. So do your negative, and then you'll see that it transfers. Then make sure you hit save. In this case, I do not want to hit save because I do not want to save this transaction. So I'm going to actually delete it out.
Andrea, real quick.
Yes.
If they want their troop to show up in the Cookie Finder app, the Girl Delivered feature needs to be turned off and the troop site needs to be turned on.
Yes, so you need to activate your troop, and I'll actually go through that after we do this part. I will show you guys again where how to tell if your troop link is active or not, and where to find all of that information. I'll do that at the end, so don't let me forget.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Also, IRG girls, that all the parent needs to move all cookies to the girl.
Yes, you can do that periodically throughout the program, or you can do it all at the end. It's up to you. And I'll actually show you how I've been handling it with my daughter here in just a moment. Okay. So to, again, once you enter in those negatives, you will go to the girl that you are transferring to. All right. You'll do your add transaction, and now you'll do the reverse. You'll type in your notes, and then in the appropriate columns, write your numbers with your paid. And then once you hit save, that will be your troop link to girl link transfer of those cookies. This is the same for girl to girl transfers. If you have one girl that is giving cookies to another girl, it is the exact same process. Make sure you transfer. But in that case, you wouldn't have to transfer the funds because the parent still owes the funds. The only reason you're transferring funds from the troop link is because those cookies were already paid for. Okay. So any questions on that part before I go into my next part? I'm going to talk about the abbreviations and everything that you see. Nothing? All right. So some of the abbreviations that you see here, you have ship. This means that these cookies were directly shipped from the warehouse to the customer. So they never actually touched your physical inventory. So you will see an inventory number or an amount so that she's getting credit for that amount along with the amount that's paid. Deliver means that these are cookies that were delivered by the Girl Scout. You'll see that there is no physical inventory here. This is because these are cookies that have been transferred to the girl from the troop. So they have already been transferred into her inventory, but the money will have been what has been paid. Sorry, there's a transaction that didn't get deleted. DON is for donated. This is just to show that there were cookies specifically donated for our Operation Cookie Drop. So you'll see the amount and the amount paid. The other items that you'll see on here, this is what happens when you use the booth recorder to record your booth sales. So what we've done, instead of transferring all of the cookies right off the bat, we use the booth recorder to transfer the product and the funds at one time. And then any cookies that have been delivered directly from her inventory gets transferred over and looks like this. And again, you do that by add transaction. You type in whatever comments that you need, the appropriate columns for the amounts. And yes, it is by category view instead of variety. So core is lemon ups, trefoils, do-si-dos, thin mints, tagalongs, and samoas, and s'mores. The toffee is going to be the gluten-free, and because that has a different price point, that will be under the last two columns. Okay. Uh, Anytime that a parent pays you funds, or you collect money, if you're an IRM, anytime that you collect money, you're going to need to make sure to put it in here. So that way the balance accurately reflects what the girl owes. Now, if the troop is using their troop link at, for example, booths, where they're using troop cookies, but using the troop link to pay for it, this is what you will actually see. And it'll say in hand, and it'll just be an amount with no cookies transferred. That is because the cookies are already in your inventory as a troop, and you have to transfer those separately than you would the money. Okay, and the way you can transfer the money here again is you would just do it as a negative funds. All right. I know this is a little confusing. A lot of this is brand new, especially with the troop links. This is a brand new year for the troop links. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself or type in the chat box, and I can always go back over something or try to clarify anything that doesn't make sense. Okay. This again is your overall troop view. This negative here is what you should have total packages of cookies in your inventory. Okay. If you need to keep, if you're like me and you prefer to keep a variety view, you will need to do that in a separate like Excel or separate type of tracking to know exactly what types of cookies that you have. This is just going to show you your grand total. Do we have any other questions, Danny? No.
Nope.
DOC. That is not what I wanted. Sorry, hold
Okay,
on.
we do have one quick question.
Yes, go for it.
The cookies I have on hand, do I still need to transfer if she is an IRM?
Yes. So if you want to use the booth, so if you are selling cookies at a booth, what I recommend is go into booth sites, go to record sales, and this is where you click the booth that you attended, and you type in what cookies were sold to include any donations that were made. Make sure to unclick your troop account. If she's an IRM, she'll be the only one there. If it's multiple girls, then you'll be able to select what girls were at that site, distribute sale, and then submit sale. When you do that, it will then look like this here. Okay. And the reason you have, even at IRM level, you do have to make those transfers is because the girl numbers is what we will be using to fill the rewards items. So if the girls do not have the cookies allocated to them in the system to their individual account, then we won't know what we're getting them for their recognitions, and they will lose out. Because once the rewards are submitted, we aren't making any changes. So if it's not correct in the system by the time the rewards are submitted, then the girls will lose out on any of those recognitions. Okay. In-person orders, you can put in, so as I said, as an IRM, you can either just do it all as a big bulk transfer. Every time you pick up, you just transfer everything and that's it. Or if you want to keep track of where those sales are coming from, you can do it through different means. It's up to you.
We have a couple of questions that just came through.
Go for it.
How do I get the troop link activated?
Mm-hmm.
And then what do I do when the customer wants to donate cash to the troop?
So we'll talk about that link here in a moment. As for donations, any donations that are collected during the course of the cookie program do have to go towards the official Operation Cookie Drop. they do have to go in $4 increments, so keep track of any of those extras, and as you have, and this is for, like, the troops with multiple girls. As you have, enough for a package, you'll be able to put in additional packages through, say, the booth, feature, or just adding them individually, however it is fit for you. But you do have to put them in. That is what the OCD here is for. It's Operation Cookie Drop, and that is going to be for all of our donated cookies. At the end of the season, we'll take that grand total, look at what we have product wise across council, and then we'll be able to start distributing. This year, we are going to split it, all donations, between the military, the first responders, as well as frontline workers. And those are going to be in your respective communities throughout the council region. And we'll work on that once the program is over.
Thank you very much for
Mhm.
that clarification. If you would like to request a booth in your area, I can assign you the booth coordinator training so you know and have all the documentation that you need to go secure booths in your area. Just send an email to product@gsdsw.org and I'll be happy to help you guys. We have another quick question. How long are booth reservations?
Um, that is up to the. Oh, are you talking about the slots in the system? They are typically 2 hours. Some can be an hour and a half, depending on the location and what the time availability is. We had an error with a few of them in the system, so that should be corrected by now. If there's anything that's in there, like an entire day slot, please let us know so we can go in and update that. It's a very easy fix on our end, but they should be set for 120 minutes. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys that troop link. And I'm actually going to jump between my demo troop and then my daughter's troop so that you can see the difference. And the reason for this is the demo troop, I do not have that link active. So if your troop site in Digital Cookie looks like this, where it says not published, will not appear in Cookie Finder, then your link is not live. Okay. If it looks like this and you see the URL, then you know your link is live. Okay. To make that link live, let me go back. Um, you will first need to assign an individual to be that lead person. Okay. As you can see, it's me. You will then go into your parent account and you're going to go to your troop link. Now, if you are also a parent to a Girl Scout, then you will see their name here as well. If you do not see their name and you are a parent as well as a troop leader, please let us know, because then we need to make sure that your email is associated with your Girl Scout properly. We've already had a few cases where troop leaders have set up the troop link as their daughter's link instead of the troop link. So please make sure you're aware of what link you are selecting. All right. From that troop link, you will then go into your site setup and you're going to fill out the information that's provided here. So the number of packages for your whole troop, your troop's story, all of that information. If you have some troop photos or videos, if your troop has done anything that you want to add there, you absolutely can. And then you'll click on see your site. I'm not going to do these actual steps because I do not want this link live. Since this is my demo link, I do not want to risk any sales going to it. So I'm going to leave it as unpublished. But once you go to see your site, you'll then be able to get a good view of it and then approve and publish it. Once you publish it, then you will see that link pop up on your main screen. Okay. And actually, I meant to jump over to this one. From here, now the other problem that we have been running into is people have turned off their or turned on their girl delivered. And that is going to be under, sorry, I haven't messed with that. So it's going to take me a second. Here it is. Under inventory, you will see the default link is inactive for girl delivered. If you turn it on, you will come off of Cookie Finder. This has to be inactive in order for you to be on Cookie Finder. This is not a setting I can change. This is national rules that have been set forth. And this is for your guys's one sanity as well as safety. Um, this it there's no telling how many extra sales you guys are going to be receiving through that Cookie Finder if the uh, girl delivered link was on. Um, and then we also run the risk of you having to deliver to people that you don't know their location. So this is why the Cookie Finder, because this is a national link. So you have people from across the nation that have access to that Cookie Finder. It has to remain as inactive. Okay. Are there any questions on that?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Does that mean the cookies are shipped?
Yes, they are directly shipped. It's for direct ship and donated cookies only, is what the Cookie Finder is for. Now, your Girl Scouts and your troop can use their URL to, or your Girl Scouts can use their URL to give out to people in their local communities for Girl Delivered. But that is based on each girl's preferences and the parents' preference as far as who they want to give that link out to so that you have control over who has your girl delivered link. Okay. If there is not a troop within the zip code that the customer puts in that is on the troop finder, then it will um, continue to search out for, I think it's like a 25-mile radius or something like that, or more. It very well could be more, but it will find the next troop to that zip code. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else that you guys are struggling with? This is kind of an impromptu Q&A as well, so I'm willing to go over any other aspects that you guys might be struggling with. No? Let's see. Danny, can you think of any questions that we've been getting a lot of that I've missed?
So I have one. Is there any way to print out a girl payment summary? What about entering deposits and balances?
Okay. So that is going to be back over here under your eBuddy tab. As far as girl balances, if you go to your girl orders and select your girl name, it will give you everything that you need to do. You can need to know. If you hit printable, it will give you the detailed summary of what that girl has had to include her balance and her current cookie count. The two different colors indicate the uh, um, orientation of your paper. So the purple would be if you print it on portrait paper, whereas the green is landscape paper. So clearly, landscape will be your best bet for printing if you can. But this will give you your balance, and then that way the parents can look through and make sure all of their transactions are in there correctly. As far as payments go, when council conducts ACH payments, or in the case of IRMs, IRGs, when you submit payments to council, they will show up here. These are payments that we will be entering, and they will look something like this. If you pay in person, it will have your location and the receipt number. So you can verify that that amount was in there. If you participated in Grubhub, it will show as Grubhub with that date. If you are part of the ACH, which is not on here, it will show as ACH and then the number, whether it was ACH 1, 1.2, 2, it will show in here the ACH that was pulled from your troop. These DOCs are your payments that were made through credit card sales through your direct digital cookies. So in hand, as well as direct ship payments too. And keep in mind that there's going to be multiple pages, so you can filter through, you can filter it down if you're looking for something specific, and all of that. You will not be entering any of the council payments. The only payments you enter are going to be on the girl order tab when you click on the girl name and you add your payment. Okay. Again, if you use the booth recorder, it will automatically record the payments or transfer the payments because that is assuming that all payments were made at a troop booth. All right. Does that answer the questions?
Yes. I have some more questions coming through. When we use the troop link for credit cards, how do we know which booth it belongs to? We have multiple booths going on at the same time.
You will need to have your girls make sure you are tracking the sales that are being done at those booths. Unfortunately, it doesn't break it down as far. Don't think it breaks it down as far as
I
there's
don't think it breaks it down as far as location.
yeah, I thought I remembered a feature, but I think I'm crossing my systems actually. I think I don't believe it breaks it down at all. So you just have to be keeping track of how many how much was paid via credit card through the booth finder. Not through booth finder, through digital cookie. Sorry, it's a Monday.
Good, good. Okay, if I pay at council, do I still do you still do an ACH withdrawal? No, we do not
No,
withdraw ACHs from IRGs that are paying at council.
yeah, it'll come off of your payments. Now, if you had already approved an ACH amount, those amounts should be showing up in your accounts within the next 1 to 2 days. It's in its last process. Please keep in mind that the date of the ACH is what day we send it to finance. It does still take a few days for it to go through the full process before it actually gets pulled from your account. So especially if you're an IRM, if you've already approved that amount and you don't see it pop up or come out within a day or two, don't turn around and then try and pay that amount to council because then you risk a bounce. And I will warn you guys, if we have any funds that are returned for insufficient funds, or incorrect accounts entered, you guys will be charged late fees. So please make sure your accounting information is put in. But if you're an IRG and you are paying council, then you do not need to approve an ACH because those payments will be accounted for in when we are pulling our numbers. Okay.
Right. So the only people that can pay at council are individually registered girls,
Correct.
not troop.
That is correct. And I've already had one instance of a parent attempting to pay who is part of a troop. No, all payments, all girl payments need to go to the troop cookie coordinator and go into the troop account. IRGs are special circumstances because they do not have troop accounts and are spread throughout the council. So their payments are going to be a little different depending on their area. And I had, oh, and the next
That
ACH,
is all
okay. The next ACH, while we're thinking about it, will reflect payments that were authorized through this last ACH. So if you've made, if you've authorized a payment, it has already been entered into the payment section and will be reflected in this next ACH. Those emails are expected to start going out Wednesday, but please keep in mind this year we are manually emailing each individual troop that is on that ACH list. If you do not receive an email, you can always reach out to product@gsdsw.org just to confirm if you do or do not have a payment owed. But you do need to approve your ACH amount and give us, I would say, Wednesday and Thursday to get those emails out to everybody. Because as I said, we have to manually email each individual person. We do not have a button that we can press and it automatically send to everybody like we did last year. All right.
awesome. So getting a digital cookie platform, you would get a link from email at email girlscouts.gs.org.
No, girlscouts.org.
Girlscouts.org. Sorry, guys. Um, you have to check for that email to access DOC and get your online link set up.
Yes. If
So
you,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say,
You're fine,
if
go
you
ahead.
have not received it and you've already gotten your eBuddy access or you think you should have it by now, just email product and say you haven't received your link so that we can double check because not all of our girls are getting transferred into DOC. So it's sometimes a simple matter of just updating that email. Also, we've been having Yahoo issues. It is hit or miss on if the Yahoo emails will allow the registration emails to go through. So if you do not want to wait for that to fix, then you can send us an alternate email and we will put that information into the system. Gmail's been working, Hotmail's been working, most others work. iCloud, I think, is hit or miss, and Yahoo's just been the most troublesome. But if you don't receive the link, we only trigger a link once in a 24-hour period. So if you've been entered and you haven't received that link, please email us and we'll take a look and see what's going on.
Perfect. So once you get your email that says how much your ACH will be, you would just send back, yes, that's good, or can we change it to this amount?
Yes.
Okay. Unrelated to the system, Nextdoor, is Nextdoor app allowed for advertising?
Yes, but keep in mind that it should all be girl led. So make sure your girls are participating in those posts. And Nextdoor is approved because it is, my understanding, restricted to neighbors within a certain area, which is why it's allowed. You can also post on more public type sites, but please keep in mind, do not include your Girl Scout's last name, phone number, or any identifiers like that. Keep it minimal as far as what you are putting out there, but you cannot post on resale sites such as Facebook Marketplace, yard sale groups, eBay, Craigslist, Amazon. You cannot post on any of those sites. That is not allowed, and that is at GSUSA level. Okay. Any other questions?
Awesome. So you don't have to do anything for the ACH. You don't have to do anything for the ACH, but tell them to say, yes, that amount is good, or I need to change my amount.
Correct.
There's no button to push. You just let us know.
If you
The girl does not have to be the person for Nextdoor app member. The parent can be the holder of that
Mhm.
app.
Yes, but just have the girl be the one leading you as far as when to post, what to post, and that kind of thing. It for the new troops, if you are brand new into eBuddy, you just got logged in, you and you are a troop or an IRM that wants to use the ACH to pay for funds, you will go to settings, edit settings, and then you'll enter your banking information here. Please make sure you're entering your routing number and bank account number correctly, as well as your bank name. We verify the routing number with the bank name. This is why we have both those lines there. This is required for all troops. All active troops must have this information in the system or you will not be allowed to pick up cookies. I already have a couple of troops out of El Paso that will not be allowed to proceed further until this information has been added. IRMs are the only ones that can skip this step if you are paying council directly. Okay.
And yes, you can post on your own personal Facebook page.
Yep.
And at this time, the last day of selling is March 14th.
Yes. Many of you should have received an email talking about an extension. We will have the specifics regarding that extension by the end of the month, but we are looking into that possibility as a result of DOC issues, Walmart getting approved so late, as well as the recent weather that we have. But we do not have any further information on that. We will put that out once we have made that final decision.
That's all the questions I have in the chat.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing. So that is all that we have for you guys. If you have any other questions that come up or want to go over anything else, just let me know. We'll be on for a few more minutes. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys. I am actually really surprised on the turnout. I appreciate you guys logging in into such a last minute training. So thank you guys so much. Stay warm, stay safe, and good luck with the rest of your season. You're welcome. Thank you guys.
Andrea,
Yes.
so on my account of what I showed that I'm supposed to have on hand is not what I have on hand. So am I missing something? Did I not transfer something?
Have you looked through all of the transactions to make sure they're accurate?
I did. I put in boots. I haven't messed with boots, but I put them in already.
Did you double check the transactions with me to make sure that I didn't miss something?
As far as like the pickups,
Yeah.
no, those are there. I show my 3 pickups with you.
But the amounts for all of those are correct?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I ask is because I have a couple of my inventory numbers are off and I cannot figure out which troop I boo-booed on. So that's why I'm making sure everybody knows to check those numbers.
Okay, well, I'll recheck.
Yes, please double check, because especially with the chaos that we had about a week or so ago with the Tuesdays, I suspect that I missed a couple of numbers or something. So yeah, double check those. Make sure that it's not DOC, because I know depending on which set of numbers that you're looking at, DOC can show on there, and it also includes your OCD number. So it might be a little high because it's including your donation as well. That's where the system gets a little kind of confusing. So take a look and see exactly how much is it off, and see if it is comparable to your OCD or your DOC numbers.
So, okay, I'm supposed to look at the OCD numbers then?
Yeah.
I think right now it's showing the same on both. That's what I was like, oh, okay, that's not right. Because I don't, it's just that I have like 860 packages. And it's like, that's like impossible.
Well,
That means I would have to have like 60 cases. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, so look at your OCD. Most likely it's a transaction that's missing somewhere. That you're
Because I don't
missing.
have to do anything with the boots, right? I just put them in and that's
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, if you just put them into the record sales, it will automatically transfer to the girls. So yeah, but just double check that you put all of your numbers incorrectly on those. Yeah, I think honestly, we might need to sit down in person and take a look at your numbers to see where it's off. Because I can only suggest some things without actually seeing it. It's hard to say where the error could be or where the issue could be.
Okay. And because if they did the credit card on the booth, I don't have to do anything to move it over, right?
You don't
did it
have
under the
to.
troop.
You don't have to if you use the record booth sales. Because I like my numbers clean, I was taking the booth numbers out of the troop account as a negative because I had increased input them in through the booth, but you don't have to. That's up to you.
Okay. That's confusing me, so I won't do that.
Yeah, like I said, that whole troop link and everything is brand spanking new. You're welcome, Hillary. Is brand spanking new, so it's still a lot of figuring out and understanding how each side of it plays into each other.
Okay, well, look at all my numbers again, and if not, then I'll probably see you next week for cookies, and we'll talk.
Yep. As long as it's not Tuesday. Tuesday's always my busiest day, and so I don't have a whole lot of time to talk on Tuesdays. But most other days, I'm able to kind of look through it. Just kind of let me know when you want to sit down and talk, and we can kind of go through some of it.
Okay, sounds good then.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night, Nayeli.
Have a nice night. You have a nice night. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
All right. Did anyone else have any other questions, or are you just listening? I think we're good.
I think we're good.
All right. What time? About that other thing, it's late.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and hop off. It's just Celine's left. Have a good night, and we will talk to you later. And I will talk to you tomorrow, Danny.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right, bye.